Good morning. No lake this morning, but we do get a rainbow. Good morning. It is day 25. Woo! And today we reached the ocean. Yesterday, the first 12k was on the roads. It wasn't too bad, but it was roads, and then it was brilliant. The rest of the day, really enjoyed it. It was all single track, lots of variety. Yes, I got my feet wet a lot. There's a lot of walking through long puddles and splashing around, but that was fun in a way. Rained for a while, but that was alright. Got a nice view up Mount Chance and enjoyed the afternoon as well. Even more variety. Swamps, grasslands, in the forest and rocky areas. Yeah, really neat. Cool rock. Last night I was by myself, except for at 19:30 a runner came by, filled up his water, asked a few questions. He is going for a fastest known time, so he is aiming for around 11 days, and he's doing it self-supported. So you got different types. You got the supported, where someone in a camper van meets you at every road, and he has got food drops and buying as he goes. So he was aiming to get to Dogpool that night, after already having done a couple of huts. So yep, good on him. He said he kept his feet dry up until here, so potentially I might keep my feet dry today. Well, they're already wet. Yeah, we'll see. So today it is 18 and a bit k to the first shelter, and then another 13, so it's only a 31k day, and 10k to the ocean. His shower's on and off at the moment, so hopefully it clears. Oh, that's a lovely view. There you go, the grasslands. Sand and open plains to look at. Look at that. It's a nice view for the morning. It is still wet, and there have been a couple of puddles, but been able to go around the bigger ones, and this wet isn't over my shoe height, so it doesn't really matter. My leg, not actually feeling it at the moment. Long may that last. Going uphill was where it was sort of, I could feel it the most. Just going up a little hill now, and nope, still not feeling it. Brilliant. Wow, I didn't expect it to recover. I still expect today it will be a little sore, but I'm taking it really easy today. It's only a shorter day, so no rush. Even had a sleep in. Didn't wake up until 6. On my way at 6:40. Real sleeping. The birds didn't wake me, which is surprising. So we're at a junction, and we've been on a road and coming out, and it looks like we are going to stay on a road. These are the sorts of puddles I'm going through, but there's just enough room to tippy-toe around the edges. I can hear the ocean. Still on the road, go in the forest part and then out into the open like this. It's sandy and then red clay. That's quite neat. These flowers seem to like the sand. Oop. Another junction. We're on a track or single? Oh, it looks like we're on a single track now. Hey. Still think these are pretty cool. Another big slab. There's a marker. See another one up there. It's good marking. Better than coming down as Mount Cook. Much better. Doesn't matter they're not yellow, they still show up a lot. Oh, the ocean's starting to get loud. There's some big waves. Right, panorama time. Because looking around, that's the ocean. Woohoo! Ooh. There we go, and I am heading that way, and eventually to the ocean. Woohoo! All different flowers. 1, 2, 3 little pinkies, little purplies. Alright. Track's been quite neat, very slightly overgrown, enough to make it interesting without being annoying. Though the wet vegetation, yeah, that's why I've still got my raincoat and rain skirt on, otherwise I'd be soaked. More rocky slabs. Some of this rock is nice and grippy, but some of it I am being very careful with. Ooh, a boardwalk. Very, very slippery boardwalk. This could do with a little bit of chicken wire in the middle. It's dry underneath. It must flood. Oh, looks like it's quite long as well. My leg is still no pain. I'm surprised, but very, very happy. Oh, this boardwalk keeps going and going. Hey, cockatoos. Here they go. Actually come into an open bit, it's been really overgrown. It's nice though, and look! Since we just crossed a little road back there, the track is a lot more open. It's had a lot more recent maintenance in that last section. Pretty. Almost consider taking off my rain skirt, but I'm not sure if it's going to stay this good for long. Different vegetation again. It's getting closer to the beach now, beachy type things. These are new. Look at that. Flowers on the end of the stalk. It's like the bottle brush tree but on steroids. Been a few very short, steep ups, steep downs. Oh, I'm enjoying this. It's nice. Once again, it's something different. I always enjoy when it's something different. And this lovely views. And that beach noise is getting closer and closer. Oh. Interesting leaves on this tree. They're all sort of curled inward. That's pretty impressive how all the individual ones just form this really neat ball. That's cool. These things are bright yellow. Another type of wattle, I'm guessing. Watching this little battle, this big ant. It's trying to get away. It's got two little ants on its back feet. And he keeps kicking them off. And it's going, and then they latch on and slow it down. Oh, other ants are coming. Oh, they nearly tipped it over. And it's free! Run! Run! Not sure it's the same. It looks slightly different from the others. It's a darker pink. I've been following this ridgeline for quite a while now, and I quite like that I can see where I'm going. And it's definitely getting closer, so I can see the ocean now. I'm not sure where we go in. You can even see massive waves coming up. What the size of those waves? That must be massive waves for me to be able to see it from here. It's another of these. I haven't seen these for a long time. I've only seen a couple. It's a snail. Your head's got a stripe on it. Is that a racing stripe? There's snails around here. There's another one here as well. It's got a different colour shell. So the track has been coming along this ridge line, dropped down, came back up along there, dropped down, came across this valley, and now up to here, and still can't see the ocean yet, though I am guessing we're getting pretty close now. Taking a risk, rain jacket's off. Let's see if the nice weather lasts. There's still a whole lot of horrible clouds on the other side of the sun. So while it looks lovely and blue sky and fluffy white, the other side is grey still, so hopefully it'll last. I have to turn, but there's a lookout here. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. And that's the ocean. Oh, yeah. That is pretty cool. Down there is the beach I'm going to be walking along for a bit. Still got a little way to get there. We're getting close. Ha 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 ha. Of course, the ocean's not the end. Now I head east to civilization. It stares. Bright, bright blue bird again. Wow. It's a bit fast. That is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Haha. Alright, this is Mandalay Beach. Let's see what the information says. Entrecastle National Park. We have to pay to be here. Alright, I'm here and we continue that way. Named after the Norwegian ship Mandalay, wrecked in 1911. Cool, alright. The toilets have a water tank, so I'm going to fill up my water here, then I don't have to do the 400 metres into Long Point Shelter. Some information about the ship, and there's the beach. And there's a long 300-metre walkway to get to it, and that's Dane. He's been ahead of me the whole way. He's going to beat me by probably 2 days. What a beautiful beach. Alright. It's pretty windy and pretty cold. It's good to be on the beach. Look at that. Rips, large waves, slippery rocks. Still not quite there yet. I'm going to go down the stand. Can't see me. Nothing but my own footprints and a seagull. Alright. There's a marker there, so time for me to leave the beach, unfortunately. Hard work in the sand. It's not so bad going downhill. That's quite fun. It's a nice tall marker post. Hey, look at this, these succulents. And this big flower. Cool. That guy Dane I met by the car park was nice enough to take my rubbish, as I was silly enough to not dump my rubbish either in Walpole or Northcliffe. I had built up quite a bit, but yeah, as a fellow Bibbulmun hiker, he knows the importance of getting rid of rubbish. Tall marker pole over there, though the track has been quite easy to see. I guess if it floods in here, it'd be a bit of an issue. Curious what these paw prints are. Not very big, probably 5 centimetres in width. These are something new as well. Steadily climbing, hasn't been steep until now, and now last little steep push. It's quite hard climbing in the deep sand like this. Whew. Small sand dunes, but most of it's got vegetation. What's the new things today? Thought it had 4 claws. It's like 5. I wonder if each foot shows differently. Still with us, whatever this little animal is. Well camouflaged cricket. As you can imagine, being sand dunes, there's a lot of ups and downs. That's that sand patch we're at. You can see a little section of track in there as well. It's ups and downs, ups and downs. Most of them are quite small. This is probably the biggest one we've had. Most of it's been soft sand, but we've just come onto some bit firmer sand, which is making things easier. And it's pretty beautiful distraction, all the flowers as we're climbing up. Oh, it's a distraction needed. Back over to the beach side. That is Long Point, but the shelter's on the next point closer to us, so it's 3 and a bit K from here. But we head around the side of this hill and then along the sides of everything, finally coming up. Oh, that. I wonder if that's another type of orchid or another type of bee. That is cool. Look at that. It's another type of ant. Different colours. Just love the colours of these. Stunning, and I think having that dark around the petals as well. Pretty big waves. Yeah, following the road for a while now. That single track has just been stunning. Really been enjoying it. Back onto our single track. The cowslip orchid, I think. Kangaroo. I wasn't expecting to see a kangaroo in here. I can see the trail. We obviously dropped down and then we climbed this hill up here. Okay, little Long Point shelter. It's 300 metres down that way. I don't fancy an extra 600 metres today. I have enough water, so I'm going to continue on and I'm going to find a camp spot somewhere nice and sheltered in the sun with a view and have lunch outside. And I only have 12 kilometres to get to the shelter. It's a road, but we get to go straight over. Stay on this lovely single track. You can see our track at Far Hill, very top, and slightly down, and then coming down around there, and then not sure from there. a sheltered spot for lunch. Nice soft piece of moss to sit on, flowers, and looking up at the rocky hill up there. Right, fueled up, ready to go. Still quite sparse vegetation, no trees or just shrubs around. I am very glad that it's a nice day for this. It's occasional sun and occasional cloudy, but not raining. And there's a light breeze, so this section I imagine could be really, really hot or really, really miserable in the rain and the wind. So thankfully I got a good day. That is new. Oh, the overlapping petals on it. So it looks like up close. Just stops there. So about to turn and head back towards the ocean. So going around the swampy area and then up this hill. You can just make out the track going up there. Steps all the way up. I just took the opportunity, sat down at the bottom of the steps and emptied all the sand out of my shoes because my socks and shoes are actually dry now. It feels much better. Here's a cool spiky. Nearly at the top. It's not quite as steep anymore. Oh, that was steep. Wow. Those hills, I can still just make out the track coming down. There's some little track there. And then this is where we finally came across the last part. Ah, gorgeous. Great views. Right. Nearly at the top. Right, and we've been heading back towards the ocean, and there's the ocean. Now we're just along the tops of this hill for a while. You can see the track there and up there. Beautiful. Cute. Oh, a lot of them. And they come in orange as well. Hello, bird. Just sitting in the tree. It's windy. It was on the path when I first saw it. Flew up to the tree before I could get a video. Look at the eyes, very distinct eyes, aren't they? I saw the arrow this time. It's another of these. I've already seen one today. I actually met a person, northbounder, who's going to be doing the full end-to-end. It's quite funny thinking I'm on the home stretch now. Yeah, just swapped track tips from each side. Told her about how she's going to have some wet feet coming up. I'm quite enjoying the dry feet, and she told me I've got a whole lot of sand coming up. So hopefully my legs have got time to start adjusting to it. Ooh, off the road. Is it single? Yes, single track. Woohoo! What a difference walking from sand and now. Oh, that feels so good to walk on. I can just walk normally. Oh, poor little legs are happy for that. It takes a little adjusting to be walking on sand for so long. Nice to keep my feet dry. The size of this massive tree. Fortunately it's dead now, but it's huge. Interesting seat. Right, I am about to start the big climb, so 200 vertical meters in 1.5 kilometers. So that is a fitting end to what's actually been quite a tough day. I'm glad it was a short day. Lots of ups and downs, plus the sand. Yeah, so my legs are actually feeling it. My injury is fine, my feet are fine, just my legs feel a little tired. So have one final snack to get me up the hill to the shelter. go. It's a swing bridge. Nice wide swing bridge. There you go. Quite a wobbly swing bridge. Alright, so apparently I've been in the Noits. So I'm here. A whole lot of different terrain that we go through, which is pretty cool. And then obviously I've come in from the Bibbulmun, heading that way. And how to care for it. Cool. I've been following a fantail along the path. It's interesting, their behaviours, they look identical, but their behaviours are very different from the New Zealand fantails. This one looks like it's trying to lead me away from its nest. It's doing the old, oh, you can catch me, come and get me, let's go this way. Whereas the New Zealand fantails are more interested in the grubs that you expose when you're walking along. And they're happy to get you quite close. They're cheeping away when they're beside you. They seem friendlier. There's a tingle tree. So this is unique to down here. So apparently they get really big, and that one's big enough already. Whew. Anyway, so there you go. The first tingle I've noticed. I've probably walked past several, but oh. It's half a tingle. Here's my hiking pole. It is big. Here it is. It's actually shorter than I was expecting. This is the Mount Clare shelter, and I have company tonight. Oh, X-rated! Oh. It's another of the shelters that has one solid wall and then one open wall. So it's really only a 2.5 sided shelter.